Welcome back to Simbright Fashion Academy YouTube channel for another interesting tutorial. In this tutorial, I'll be teaching you how to sew this beautiful shawl collar organdy jacket. So the edges of this jacket, you actually need to weave it if you want it to have that coily effect on the original piece. You need to serge all the edges of this jacket. So I've not really serged mine, but after weaving it, it's going to appear coily. Okay, it will be coily the way it is right there on the thumbnail and on the video. So this is what I got right here. So you can see the break-even point of my jacket. This jacket is actually looking beautiful. You can use it to wear your gown, your trousers. You can make the back longer or shorter. In fact, you can choose any length of your choice for this jacket, but this is just the length I want to choose. So if this is what you want to learn in this class, I will encourage you to stay till the end of this tutorial. So here I'm using organdy fabric. You can also use liquid Mikado for this project. I am using 3.5 yards. I got myself 3.5 yards of organdy fabric, or you can use liquid Mikado. So here I cut out 1.5. So I will use 1.5 yards to cut the back piece. I placed the 1.5 yards on fold and I marked out 1 inch border line. So here is my 1 inch border line. I'll just rule it all the way from that folded edge, which is the center back, to the end. Next, I'm going to take my neck depth. My neck depth is 1 inch for the back, and the neck width I used 3 inches. So you just mark 3 inches, 3 by 1, and connect. So that is the back neck width, 3 by 1. I later adjusted it to 2.5 inches by 1 inch, because I will stitch half an inch, so the neck relaxes as 3 inches. So now I marked my shoulder divide by 2, which is 8 inches, and from there I took the length of my sleeve. So the length of your sleeve is by choice. I used 19 inches, which is the whole, what I have in whole. So you come down by 1.5 inches for your shoulder slant. Connect that 1.5 inches all the way to the 2.5 inches neck width. So that is my shoulder slant. So next I'm going to open up my sleeve. So the sleeve opening, you are going to take the measurement of where exactly you want the sleeve to stop. So for me, I have 14 inches. So I just divide 14 by 2. I marked 7 inches. So the 7 inches will be my sleeve opening. So now we are going to take the length of the back jacket. So this length is by choice. You can make it down. You can be 48, 50, 52, whichever length of your choice. Just go ahead and mark it. So after marking it, I came to the side to curve. So I'll go up by 8 inches from the mark. So I'll be able to have a very good curve right there. You can go up by either 8 or 10 inches. It depends on how curvy you want that part to be. So now I'm going to take, I thought of adjusting that part, but it's okay. I just left it. It's okay the way it is. So now I am going to mark my sleeve opening. I just want to use 10 inches because I noticed that sleeve is actually very open. So right now I'm going to cut out the back. So I'm cutting the curvy part of the back, and I will go ahead to cut out on the shoulder line. After cutting the curvy part, I cut on the shoulder slant. So I'm going to take it all the way to the back neckline. So I'm going to cut out my neckline for the back. So after cutting out the neckline for the back piece is ready. After cutting out the neckline, next is to take the measurement of what you have on the neckline. So I took my measurement on the back neckline. I got 3.5 inches. So I will keep that 3.5 inches because I'll use it to cut out the front collar. So I folded the remaining 2 yards of fabric. This is my 2 yards of fabric which I cut out from the 1.5 for the back. So I'll use these 2 yards to cut the front piece. So right here, I'm going to take the measurement of the collar. Okay, so the collar, this is the center front. I just marked 8 inches, but you can make it 6 inches because I realized that 8 inches was too big. I later reduced it to 6 inches. So you can just go ahead on the folded part, just mark which is the center front. Okay, I placed this 2 yards on fold, so the part that is open, that is where I marked my 8 inches, which you can mark 6 inches as the collar spacing. Now on top of it, we are going to bring the back piece right now. Place the back piece on that collar, the center back, place it on that line of 6 inches. So that you will now shift it down a little bit. Just the upper piece, make sure you have about 5 or 6 inches. So I kept adjusting it from the upper part. I marked 6 inches before I placed my back piece. So I tried placing the shoulder, the center back to the 6 inches or 8 inches collar line, which will serve as my center front. So I'm going to secure it with my pins right now. I believe you understand what I'm doing right here. So right now I'm securing with my pins. So this is what I got after pinning the center back to that line of 8 or 6 inches for the collar, which is the center front. So now I'm going to highlight that center front line. So like I said, you can measure either 8 or 6 inches for the collar. So I also highlighted the neck width. So you highlight the neck width as well. So after highlighting the neck width, on that neck width you are going to measure what we got, which was that 3.5. I added half an inch. I marked 4 inches. So I added half an inch and marked 4 inches, then came out by 0.5. then and connected a diagonal line. Then I kept my ruler perpendicularly, or you can see how I place the ruler. Just go ahead and mark a straight line the way I'm doing right here. Now on that line I marked my collar width of 6 inches. So you mark 6 inches, and from that 6 inches you begin to blend the collar into the center front line. So I highlighted the shoulder part of this collar. I believe you understand. I want to take it again. First of all, you draw a straight line from the neck width. Then measure the neck width, whatever you have, add half an inch to it and mark. Then come out by half an inch, come back by half an inch and connect the neck width to the half an inch. Place your ruler diagonally and mark a straight line. From that point you measure your collar width. So on the down piece I came up by 8 or 10 inches. Okay, you can do 10 or even 12 inches depending on how high you want that part to be. So you start blending a curvy line. You just blend a curvy line into the front piece and also connect it back to that curvy part of the back. So that is exactly what I did right here. Now after tracing these lines this way, the next thing we are going to do is to start cutting. So I'll just go ahead and cut right now. So I tried blending it very well. So you can just go ahead and blend and blend and blend. That part needs to be round, okay, for you to get this effect. So what I did first was to go ahead and cut. I first cut the side of this dress. So I cut the side of this dress. The side of this dress is straight. After that curvy down part, you cut straight. Then go into the shoulder line. I'm going to cut through the shoulder line, and from there I went ahead to cut add half an inch. Make sure you add half an inch for stitching of the collar to the neckline. So I added half an inch on that piece. Then I cut the collar width. So I was just cutting through the chalk line. Okay, so I decided to stop my cutting right now. So I'm going to join this dress right here. I left this part uncut, but later I'll show you how to trim it off perfectly. So we are going to start joining this dress right now. So I went ahead and pick up the back. So we are going to lay the back right now, right side of the back. Then I'm going to bring in the front pieces. The front pieces are 2. So I'll lay them right side to right side, but I made a little notch of half an inch to enable me stitch the front to the back. So I secured with my pin. So I'll go ahead to my machine and run half an inch stitch. Then I brought the other part to lay it right side to right side, if actually there is a right side for this dress. So I will just sew half an inch all the way down. So I'll go over to the machine to stitch. So after stitching, this is what I got. So the next thing I did was to lay it, as you can see me lay, you can see the seam lines is laying downward. So I'll pick up the collar. You can see how I'm picking up. Please pay attention to this part. You are going to stitch it the way I'm laying it right now. Just follow the way I lay it and stitch half an inch. So after stitching half an inch, you can see what I got. We are going to weave this part, okay? Then you will pick it up again, the neckline, secure with your pin, also stitch. You can see how I picked them. So after stitching, we are going to also weave them nicely, because that part is going to be at the back of the collar. So after stitching, this is how the collar will look like. So the next, we'll go over to close the sides of this dress. So I'll go ahead to leave the sleeve open. The sleeve part will be open while we go ahead to stitch the side. So the sleeve, I decided to use 10 inches for my opening. So here you can just go in by 1 inch and stitch like a kimono. Just follow the chalk line, stitch. You know how we stitch kimono sleeve, just at a pinch. So after stitching, this is what I got. You can decide to fold it in if you want, but the original picture was weaved, so you just go and search that part, okay? So I decided to leave it the way it is, like a kimono, and then I'm going to make a notch at that curvy part of the kimono, then weave the sleeve. So I'll just make a notch at that point and reduce the seams as well. So that is that for the sleeve. So once you weave this dress right now, it will give you that coily effect you are seeing all over the dress. Now we are going to put the dress together to trim the down piece, which is the main purpose of this tutorial. So I put it together at the center back, as you can see, and the sides I place them together. So this is the center back, this is the side, and this is the front piece which we want to start curving. So I'm going to take the measurement from where my shoulder is. So wherever you want your break-even point to start is your decision. So you just mark that point. I mean where the collar, you want it to start, you know, to the collar to lap. So I'll just go over and make a curvy. So your curve can be this way. Your curve can also be this way, this other way. So whichever curve, okay? If you look at the dresses we have on the video, there are so many kinds of curves given to this dress. So I just decided to go with the one that goes down. Now you can also make it rounded. You can place it and make it rounded. So after curving this part, this is how the dress will look like. So I'm just trying to show you how it will look like. Can you see? Then you now put the collar like this, and that is how beautiful this simple shawl collar jacket organdy looks like. So you can use this dress for any of your choice. So I decided to trim it a little. When you open it, you can really see the real shape of what you want. So I decided to trim a little bit just to taper that part to how I want it. Then you can place the part you tapered. I placed the part I tapered on the other side. I arranged it very, very well, so I'll be able to trim off the other parts. So two of them will just be equal. That is exactly what I'm doing right here. So the beauty of this jacket is the weaving of the edges. Please don't forget to weave the edges so you have the coily parts. Okay, so it's the weaving that make it a little bit coily as you see in the picture. So this is what I got, and that is how I'll come to the end of this tutorial. I believe this class was helpful to you. So if you are new to this channel, please kindly subscribe, turn on your notification bell, and see you in the next class. Bye.